But let's talk a little bit about Austin Hayes in the year. His numbers almost are identical to Frederick and Bowie. I mean,
same number of games, too, even split. I mean, it's a little bit of a surprise that he is here because, we were kind of given the indication, I ask around a lot, that they were leaning toward not bringing him up. But that was before Craig Gentry fractured his finger. So they want another outfielder, right-handed bat. They were hoping to get somebody that they could use as a pinch runner. That's really not his thing. But otherwise, he's had a tremendous season. I don't see how he's not the organization's minor league player of the year. And, he's just shot up the prospect rankings. I just talked to a scout from another organization that said he saw him probably about 50 games total, Frederick and Bowie. He's probably the best player he saw all summer. This guy sees a lot of players. So that's saying a lot there. And I really think he has an excellent chance of breaking camp with the team next spring. He would have had to go on a 40-man then anyway. They just started that clock up a little early. But I still thought that, they were leaning toward, all right, we'll keep it Bowie. They're in the playoffs, but the big league club comes first. Gentry's got the injury. J.D. Hardy's not quite ready yet. They had a way to make room on the 40-man by designating Jason Aquino for assignment, and Austin Hayes is here wearing number 18.
It's kind of interesting, though, again, when you look at the overall numbers. I mean, he started the season at Frederick and then advanced to Bowie. And when you look at Austin Hayes' numbers, 64 games for each team, 328 batting average for Frederick, 330 for Bowie, 16 home runs for each team, 41 RBIs for Frederick, 54 for Bowie. Talk about parallel lines there. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, he wasn't really challenged in the Eastern League. He's just been the model of consistency. And, there's that scary moment where he fouled a ball off his face one Sunday. I think it was the same day that another player, the player here, did that. And I'm blanking on who that was. Somebody fouled a ball off his face here. And then the same day it happened with him at Bowie. But, he was fine, got some stitches, was right back in there. And he's just been... he's doing everything. He's good defensively. He could play center up cold or even right field in the majors. He's hitting for power, driving and runs, hitting for average, getting on base. Like I say, he's not a big base stealer. That'd be the only thing, and they're not worried about that. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that he's one of the outfielders on opening day, maybe playing right field while Trey Mancini stays in left. It can only benefit him to get this exposure. I feel a little sorry for Bowie. They're getting ready to start the Eastern League playoffs. Hey, we're going to take your best player here. But again, they understand the club needed him. And, I don't know what the plan is. We haven't had a chance to talk to anybody because the news broke after Buck's pregame presser. So after the game, if we play and we're not, half asleep or forget about Austin, we'll go ahead and be able to ask some questions about him, whether it's just, a bat off the bench. They've seen a lot of lefties lately where they're going to try and get him in the lineup, what they're going to do here. I just don't think you bring him up and just sit him completely. Otherwise, he'd be better off playing at Bowie.
The other thing, too, is he's a college player. He went to Jacksonville, so it's not like he's 18 years old. He's got a little bit of, early 20s.
Yeah, 22. And that's why I don't think they were worried at all about pushing him up. There are certain guys that you might move a little more slowly, but him, a Cedric Mullins, they're like, you know what? We need these prospects at the upper levels. Let's challenge them. And if it doesn't work out, you move them back down. And it's really worked out for him.
Now, earlier today, Buck Showalter at his press gathering mentioned the fact that J.J. Hardy, who is going to come off the disabled list in the not-too-distant future, or probably this weekend, he talked a little bit about what J.J. Hardy has meant to this club, even though he's been on the disabled list for nearly 3 months behind the scenes helping out with some of the young infielders.
Yeah, it was really nice. It was almost like kind of a, tribute to JJ, and he's like, hey, he's going to play next year. Buck mentioned, he does have an option in his contract. It's $14 million. He didn't get enough plate appearances the last 2 seasons to have it vest. So it'd be up to the Orioles if they want to pick it up. They're not expected to do that, but Buck's not going to dismiss anything, and he just wants to make sure that everybody appreciates what JJ's meant to this ball club since he was acquired. Remember, they got him in the trade December 2010. That was about 4 months after Buck was hired. And this guy's just been a model of consistency in the field, clutch hitter, won 3 Gold Gloves with them. Silver Slugger, was an all-star. I think Buck just wants to make sure. He even said, we kind of provided that stage for JJ where the rest of baseball got to really see how good he is. He's a trustworthy guy. Buck loves that word. He's trustworthy. And, he worked out today. I think he feels like he's very close to being ready. Could use maybe a few more swings because he had the cortisone injection in the elbow, but he said the elbow feels fine now. They're trying to build the strength back in the shoulder. He said the wrist is fine. And with Tim Beckham playing so well, there's not a major rush, but Buck keeps saying, look, we want him. We want him to be an option, and he said on the bench. So it gives the impression that Beckham is still the main guy, but he's going to try and work JJ in there, even if it's defensive replacement late, maybe a start here and there. But he doesn't want the guy to be forgotten and just because, okay, he had a low slash line before he got hurt, that they're just going to kick him to the curb. That's not it at all. There's a respect factor here as well, and they really do value his leadership. And you guys have shown it here on MASN, where he's been working with Beckham in the field before batting practice on taking throws, applying tags, footwork. And this is a guy that he knows is taking his job. And JJ agrees. He goes, look, this guy's hitting what, 370, 380, 390, whatever. See, I would expect him to still be the starter. I mean, it's not like he feels like he's entitled that when he comes back, he should be a full-time player. He knows he's going to have to kind of work his way in, however they're able to do that. But Buck did kind of pay tribute to him this afternoon that was really nice.
And when you think about J.J. Hardy and Adam Jones and Chris Davis all being acquired, as this run started for the seasons where the Orioles have won more games than anybody else in the American League, certainly Hardy's been a big factor in that.